Are you thinking of teaching early years in the UK? Well, big changes are coming to the EYFS framework in 2025. And if you're an overseas teacher planning to move here, then this video is for you. I'll walk you through the EYFS, what it is and what is changing, and what you need to be prepared for in the UK classroom. Hi, and welcome again to my channel. In the UK, the early years education followed the EYFS, so the early years foundation stage framework. So it covers children from about birth to 5 years old, and it's mainly used in nurseries, reception, preschools, and all of that. Now there are 7 key areas that are kind of peculiar to the EYFS. I'm going to read those from my notes. So you have the personal, social, and emotional development. You have the communication and language. You have the physical development. You have literacy, mathematics, understanding of the world, and expressive arts and design. Now, unlike many systems abroad, UK early years teaching places a strong emphasis on learning through play. Okay, now I've done a video before in the past about the importance of that play. So this is very focused when it comes to the curriculum. It's very play based, and also it emphasizes a language rich environment, and then of course with regular observation. So unlike your standard sit down and teach EYFS settings, the UK one is very play based with observations of the children and all of that, and within that you're gathering information for all of these 7 key areas that I've just mentioned. What's changing in the EYFS for 2025? Now if you're following the news, you find out of course that there's some changes about to happen. So what are these things that are going to change? What are the changes? Now there's going to be more emphasis on spoken language and communication. So there's a clearer expectation for the curriculum, adjusted development checkpoints, the more inclusive practices for SEND pupils and then children with special needs, and then stronger guidance on ongoing professional development. Okay, so these are the key changes that are going to be happening. Now these updates are sort of designed to make learning more focused and inclusive for the children. And as a teacher coming to the UK, understanding these key updates is essential. Okay, because you need to be able to move with the tide. You upgrade yourself, whatever is happening, whatever changes, you need to keep up to date with those, just in case you are asked in an interview or whatever, so you're up to speed with what is going on. So it is important that you are informed about these changes, just to help you with your practice and with your planning. Now, as an overseas teacher, what are the key things that you should know? Number one, you do not need QTS to teach in an early years setting in the UK. Now, if you're going to a private sector, so like a preschool, a creche, that are not part of a school, you don't need QTS to teach in these areas. Now, reception, of course, is part of the EYFS. So most receptions are, well, every reception is part of a school. If you want to teach in a reception class in a government school, then yes, you require QTS. But if you are looking at creche, as I said, preschools and all of that, you do not need QTS to be able to teach in those areas. If it's a private nursery, government owned, then you do. Now, EYFS is very child-centered. It is very, very child-centered and child-led, okay? So a lot of the things that you do there are basically, of course, you set the environment. So when you say it's very child-centered, you just don't let the children run haywire. Of course, you set the environment, you plan, you prepare, but a lot of the learning is done through play. And there's some elements of teaching as well, but again, as I said, it's very child-centered. Now, safeguarding is huge. I hammer all the time about safeguarding, especially in the EYFS, because they are very young, they are little, they may not be able to express themselves and all of that. So safeguarding is huge in this area. You need to upgrade yourself from safeguarding, do your training, whatever it is, read up on those, because it is very important in this area. Now, you also need to have an understanding and awareness of working with support staff, the parents and SCN, children with special needs in this area, because they're the key things that you need to be aware of. Now, how do you prepare? So if you are overseas and you're looking to come to the UK to teach in the EYFS setting. How do you prepare for this? Now, to make the transition smooth for you, you have to first of all read the 2025 EYFS framework. Okay, so this has been updated in the God of UK website. You have to go read that. As I said, there's a change, so you have to go read the 2025 EYFS framework. You practice using observation-led assessment methods. Okay, so as I said, there's a lot of observations that go on in EYFS settings. So you observe and you observe. If you're not used to doing observations or writing observations, now some of these observations might be handwritten. Okay, so you might have key children that you will observe in a week, in a day. Some settings use internet app-based softwares to be able to do this assessment. So if you're not used to this, practice and practice and practice how to do observations for children. Now, familiarize yourself with the UK safeguarding policy, which we all should know by now. If English, which I doubt it isn't for many of us from Africa, if English isn't your first language, please make sure that your communication is very clear. Now, I've talked about this on my channel when someone says, oh, my accent. It's not about your accent. It's that, can you communicate clearly? Can they understand you? Can you say something really clear that the children can understand? As I've said before, we have Spanish teachers, we have French teachers, we have a whole lot, and they all have their accents, but they're teachers. So the main aim is, can you communicate clearly? And then, of course, develop yourself by taking on some CPDs online, EYFS courses tailored to the UK standard. Okay, there are different standards, but whatever CPD that you're doing, make sure that it is tailored for the UK market or for the UK institutions. Now, if the EYFS is a fantastic place to work within, okay, but it is unique. Once you understand these changes that will be happening in 2025, it shows that you are ready to work, and it shows that you've gone ahead and you've updated yourself and you're ready for the next steps. So if you are planning to move to the UK as an early years teacher, let me know in the comment section. And just to say, I'm going to be holding a masterclass specifically for those who want to come in to teach early years foundation, or who want to become early years teachers. I'm going to be holding a masterclass very soon about this. So keep a watch on the channel, and I'm going to update you on this, and more information will be given as we go along the line. I hope you've learned something new today. I hope this is useful. Please do not forget to like, comment, share my videos, and do not forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell, so when I upload new videos, you'll be the first to hear. Right. And for those of you who've been asking for CVs, yes, I will send those out to you in due course. But in the meantime, have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.